Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Pantsu Hunter, back to the 90s. Wouldn't know that by looking at it, would ya? Oh man. This is a Sometimes You port. If you aren't familiar with what that means because you haven't been paying attention on the Vita recently, and well, to be fair, I don't blame you in some circumstances. Well, Sometimes You aren't known for making the most technically proficient Vita ports, and this is just the latest example. There is supposed to be a background image here with the game logo and everything, but for whatever reason, half the time when you come back out to the main menu, it's just missing, and this doesn't get any better when you do things like go into the settings menu as well, because if you go into the settings menu, oh hey, it's actually back here! That's something. But if I go back, it's still gone. Because of course it bloody is. Wouldn't expect anything less from a Sometimes You game, would you? But anyway, as I was saying, back to the settings. You have two options here. One is to turn off the speech, and the other is to turn off all the sound entirely. So if you want to get rid of the background music, you can't do that. You have to... just the background music, I should say. If you want to get rid of just the background music, you can't do that. You have to turn the voices off as well. Because why? Fuck if I know. This game's got a lot of really weird decisions. We do have a gallery that we can go to that has art from the game. Actually, admittedly, the one thing this game has got going for it is its art. I gotta admit, it's giving me that 90s anime vibe, and it's actually pretty nice. How do I get out of here? There we go, I had to press the X button for some reason, instead of the button that's universally back everywhere else, but there you go. You do also have a collection of panties, and this happened to me last time, but let's see if it actually happens here too. No background image here, none here, there's one, and it's gone again. Don't ask me why this is a thing, but it is. Also, yes, the game has a collection of panties, and it tells you what the personality of the owner of the panties are, because that's the plot. You do also have some standalone scenes, which is interesting. The general thing about these is they give you a little bit more backstory into the No, they give you a little bit more backstory into the individual characters. That's the main thing that they do. However, you get basically nothing in the main plot, so it really doesn't feel like these actually lead up to anything. At least as far as I can tell. I'm only through 2 of the game's 5 chapters, and even then. So I'm going to go back to the main menu and go to the story this time, because this is where, obviously, the majority of the game happens. Now, when the game starts up, it warns you that it doesn't actually save your progress. And you think, oh, that's a little bit weird, but it's actually not. The way they advertise this game up front is that it feels like a visual novel, but it's not. It's a point-and-click adventure game with some talking to each other sections, and each particular chapter can last, like, you'll be lucky if you get 10 minutes out of it without purposefully delaying. That's generally how short they are. It's kind of helped up by the fact, though, that there are some unlockable things going on. Not only do you have a true ending for each character, which can be a bit of a bitch to find, you also have a series of alternate endings and panties to find. The majority of panties that you find are usually related to things like hidden puzzles in each chapter. Some of them are really simple, some of them are actually surprisingly difficult to find. But yes, you can pick whatever chapter you've unlocked so far, but you should note that in order to actually unlock further chapters, you have to find panties. So you have to solve at least some of the puzzles in the chapters themselves in order to actually move on. So for example, for the epilogue, you need to find 15 pairs of panties. That's a lot of fucking panties. But thankfully you do have a fair amount of panties to find in each chapter, so... well, that's a thing. So, should we go with a chapter that I already know, or should we go with a chapter that I haven't got anything in yet? Well, I think we'll go with the chapter that I haven't got anything with yet, because, well, this is me we're talking about, I'm probably going to find some of the most embarrassing endings imaginable. Now, I don't have sound on, and this game's technical performance really prevents you from getting some idea on where the actual voices start and end. I'm gonna warn you now, this game's technical performance is ridiculous. Like, for example, if you hold triangle, which they don't tell you is the skip button, but if you hold triangle to skip through text too much, the game will crash. It's almost a guarantee. Like, it's honestly kind of amazing just how rough this game is technical-wise. Not to mention just how it has this tendency to not actually recognize your inputs. And look at the speed of this text. This is actually the common speed of the text. I don't know what they're trying to pull here, but no one except like someone who probably shouldn't be playing this game, whether they be young or probably too disabled to play this game, should be playing it if they can't read faster than this. Also, yeah, it just stops. There's no auto text in this game whatsoever, so you actually have to press X in order to progress. Or we can do the smart thing, or just hit triangle and let it play the entire thing. Also, did you notice how that text was incredibly small and hard to read? Guess what? That's actually pretty common in this game. Because of course it fucking is. Even with my glasses on, I have trouble reading this shit. I mean, look, this is fine. Then they bring in the art. It'll be hard to find all the treasures. This is the Kenji, I came to fix your internet. Hello, ma'am, I'm from the internet. No. Nobody talks like this, by the way. The writing in this game is horrendous. Pretty sure it was by people who don't speak English. It's not helped out by the fact that there's actually voice acting.
Hello. My servants are on vacation.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not terrible voice acting, but it's just the writing really doesn't help. Like, who says my servants are on vacation?
I hope you can help me, but you must not touch anything but the computer. Especially the paintings. They are very expensive. Understood? Your name is... right? Sakai Anna. In other words, I don't care what your name is. Just do your job.
What the fuck? Okay, that's a new one. For a game that's as technically incompetent as this, nothing but the eyes and the mouth is a new bug for me. What in God's name is wrong with this port?
What you're doing?
The cold lady.
And after that, the internet suddenly stopped working. Do you know what could be wrong?
You know, look at this text speed. It's just... Oh yeah, also, your guy doesn't have any voice acting, so I might as well just skip that. And she's gone again.
Just deal with it as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, let's just do this immediately, because why not? I forgot the tools. Have you forgotten your tools? Well, I'm sorry, you're free to leave.
You are...
Yeah. You're left without work and, of course, without panties. So, there is a plot to this game, and I might as well take the time to explain it now before we retry, because this game has this annoying tendency to throw time sections on you. The plot is that you're a guy who wants a girlfriend, and you've somehow managed to magically develop the ability to tell girls' personalities through panties, so you steal their panties in order to gauge their personality. Yeah, kind of creepy. But anyway, that's the idea. There are a lot of different lines like that. Where situations like that where you will just immediately fail and have to retry the scenario. As I said before, the scenarios usually don't take you more than 10 minutes. So I'm going to hold triangle here just to... Yeah. So, there are a lot of different endings. Oh look, you rushed me too much. I'm willing to bet this goes straight to another ending. Yeah. Had a feeling. There are tons of these endings, and pretty much anything can kill you, including sitting on chairs. This is a thing that the game actively pokes fun at, and it's honestly kind of frustrating. Mainly because since you can't save, you can't, like, make a save before, like... There's only one thing here that'll get you through, right? So, you would think after you say get down to business, you could do, like, a manual save and just avoid having to do that little intro bit again, right? Strangely enough, they don't actually let you do that in the first two ones. They actually make you restart all the way back at that, like, magazine with beautiful Miyaka or whatever it is, where the white text is slowly crawling across the right side of the screen. In this case, they do let you start at a slightly later point, but still, the amount that they make you restart is just a bit much. Alright, so now she's gone, I have the opportunity to look around the room. Now, you have very little in the way of time in this case, so you need to interact with pretty much everything as much as humanly possible. I'm also going to warn you that you need to interact with everything more than once. Basically, if something doesn't immediately kill you, interact with it more than once, otherwise you will... Oh look, panties, cool. And some... Get a pen, sure. Let me guess, if I touch the picture, yep, it slides off.
I told you not to touch the
And
paintings with
the
your
game
hands.
almost crashed.
This is the
You
famous
damaged it,
recovery
okay.
me-
I didn't break anything, we'll just put it back in paste.
You
No, never mind. Okay, sure, why not? Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I know she warned me against touching the pictures, but I did it anyway, just to demonstrate just how quickly you can die in this game. Even with all the collectibles that you can get, you still end up... Yeah, so if I hold triangle here, you can see how the, you can see how the text just lags when you, like, hold the triangle button and it just freezes at the start there. The game's technical performance, as I said before, is kind of annoying, but yeah. So, we have to interact with everything. Sometimes we need to interact with it more than once, which can be really frustrating, especially when you are doing it on objects that make no sense. Like, in the second one, you have to interact with an object twice that you would never expect a key to be hidden in because it's in the bloody roof, but, well, that's just what happens, I suppose. Yeah, there's the key. You can also navigate around by not holding the square button and just doing that, but don't do that. Okay, so we found some panties. Yeah, we'll take the pen. Although I get the feeling that's going to lead to a dead end later on. And that's pretty much all I can interact with, so if I just hit skip...
Here.
Is it mineral? I hate mineral water. We'll just...
How is... It looks to... You don't even
know what you're doing. Good luck somewhere else. Yep, had a feeling. This happens a lot. The entire process of the game is basically trial and error, because there are also multiple ways to do the... Well, not so much multiple ways to do the same thing, but... You might find yourself just trying to do something, and then you think to yourself... Well, let me try and explain it via using a, what's the word I'm looking for? Just using a situation that I had. Basically, I was trying to figure out how to repair a VCR in the first chapter, and you're not allowed to actively just repair the VCR. You have to wait until she actually leaves the room. So there are multiple ways that things can turn out. And it can get really annoying when you're trying to figure out the reason for these sorts of things happening. So open the sideboard, grab the panties. Yeah, get the pen. It's probably going to bugger me later, but that's a thing. I'm guessing the pearls are related to some kind of side quest. They'll find panties. Alright, but now that we've done everything, we can skip back to the dialogue and... Okay, here's your water. Thanks a lot. You have a virus on your computer. Are you implying that you visit porn?
The papers on the...
I could write down the information with the pen I took from out of the cupboard, or I could write down with my pen. Let's write down with my pen. Oh look, it's an arcade minigame.
It looks to me like you haven't even...
It looks to me you haven't even started.
You don't...
Oh great! Wait, how does that make sense? I was all... What? Okay. I don't even know. And we get to wade our way through getting all the collectibles and shit again. Also, still invisible there for some reason. What happens if I tell her a joke? Oh look, the game crashed. Oh no, there it goes. Will you please save me from your bad jokes? I imagine that if I,
Are you...
let's just get her out of here. I imagine if I just hammer away at those options, they'll just lead me to other endings with terrible writing, ridiculous nonsense going on. I haven't told you the worst part yet, have I? So, see how you have to do things like, pick up items and stuff like that, right? Well, sometimes the items are improperly named. The best example of this is in the first chapter, where if you are... the best example of this is in the first chapter, where one of the hidden puzzles to get panties is... Alright, I have to hit this like a third time, don't I? There we go. Yeah, one of the puzzles to get panties is to find the handle to a set of drawers, stick it in the front of the drawers, and then just pull the drawers open, you know? Like, nothing particularly out of the ordinary, right? Nothing wrong with that idea at all.
Here's your...
But the actual handle that you need is misnamed door handle for a drawer. It took me a little bit to figure this out. I'm not entirely sure why they have such a big error, but it's a thing. Okay, so my guess is that she didn't like the fact that I tapped the actual programs. That's the guess. So just wait for the worms to be relatively by themselves. There we go. Yes, I understand. I have such a problem here too. In time she left. Well, she's gone now, so I guess we can fill around on her computer. No? Well, I mean, I've cleared out the entire room and she didn't even notice. It was bizarre. How to catch the guy. That's a site about magic. Crash? Nope, there we go. Cut the head or cut the belly? We'll cut the belly. Why not? More panties.
How is the work? Okay.
Man, the writing in this chapter is nowhere near as awkward as the other ones. Read the chat with Sakura? Sure, why not? There we go. How can you say that? That! This is so awkward. The writing is just ridiculous. In the guest bedroom. Okay. Go look for panties. Why not? What is all this stuff that I'm finding? Bow, ribbons, and pearls? So that's the guest room, and that's the bedroom. Let's go to the guest room. Nope, this is the guest room, so I have to go to the bedroom. What's in the sideboard? Surely there are cute panties here. The sideboard is closed. Why can't I open it? Is it locked? I've lost my cursor. I can't do anything. Okay, there's the cursor. 3 out of 6 panties found. Right, I guess I have to do this via tapping. Oh, no, there's the cursor. That was weird. Okay, newspaper. Nope. Okay, the game is throwing an actual fit. I can't interact with anything. Square button isn't working anymore. Apparently it thinks... Oh, I found a bow. Okay. Found a pearl. A key. That's probably for the sideboard, isn't it? Yep. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. It's another puzzle. I have to rearrange them, do I? There we go. It's Yoko's panties? Who the hell is Yoko? Quickly hide the panties. What are you going here? I heard a strange noise. I didn't hear anything. Rustles and other noises. Little animals are running.
Oh my god, my collection! I have to... Thankfully, I'll call the... Thanks.
I don't need anything except your smile, or a nice souvenir would be welcome. Frankly, I'm half tempted to ask for the souvenir, but this seems like the sort of girl who would not appreciate that, but screw it, let's do that. Maybe panties. Here's a Chinese souvenir. The elephant will bring you happiness. This is probably a bad ending. Yeah. I'm pretty much done. So, apparently this video is only like 150 meg. That does not sound right. Honestly? The game's just... that... oh, alright, whatever. We don't even have the main menu back, because of course we don't. That was a look at Pantsu Hunter back to the 90s. What can I say about it? It's crap. Well, that's a good start. So, it's not interesting in any sense of the word. The panty hunting is just a series of boring puzzles. The characters are not great, and it's really not helped out by the fact that they're written terribly with obvious typos and just crazy sort of like sayings that make them not feel like real humans at all. There's no plot to speak of outside of just the standalone scenes, and even then they're not that interesting either. And the technical performance is so bad that it beggars belief. Like, we had the cursor break there for a couple of minutes. We had her bloody sprite disappear. Not to mention the game came close to crashing more than once. No. -9 negatory, avoid like the plague. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.